So here is a old well with a 24-inch terracotta pipe used as the casing. It is around 30 feet deep. We tied a rock to the end of a tape measure and lowered it down there, and so it's about 30 feet deep. And on the back side of this, they've got to tear off this old addition. This house, like I said, it was about 111 years old, 1910 it was built, and they're going to tear this down and remodel this and fix this old house up. But the new addition is coming right through here, and this will be under the house, but they want to do away with it and abandon it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a load of screenings I'm going to dump down in it. I'm going to dump that first scoop in there and then go ahead and knock this top casing off. That way it'll be below ground, and then I can just dump the pile and just let it pour in there. And since it is about 4 feet from being full of water, it should kind of run out and then just kind of run out as I dump it in there. And this should kind of solidify and turn the concrete in there pretty much. So I'm on scoop number 4 for the well, getting that filled in. You have to be careful around these old houses. A lot of times they look just like that. You can actually see where it was a hand dug well before. See the rocks around it? So pretty much somebody hand dug that and lined it in rocks. And then, I don't know, it probably wasn't that deep. I don't know, it may have been that deep, but it might have started caving in, so they lined it with a terracotta pipe there. But you can actually see the old stones around it. So somebody actually hand dug this well probably 100 years ago or before, you know, at least the house. But yeah, you got to be careful out in the country, because there'll be old wells like this, and somebody will just take and throw a piece of plywood over it, and you know, 20 years later you're out here walking and you'll break through it and fall 30 feet into the ground and pretty much drowned. All right, well, I'm gonna dump that in there and see how much more it takes to fill that up. Yeah, it's still pretty deep. So I'll just leave this extra sand here, screenings, you know, at least it's not a death trap now. It's pretty well filled in and packed down. It may settle a little bit more over time, but at least there's not a big gaping hole here where, you know, it's a danger. All right, well, that should be good. I'm going to take that over there to the barn. So now that the well is filled in, I can use what's left of the, let's see, 60 tons of screenings. I'm going to take that old driveway pipe and throw it in here as well. And I'm going to break this up. But there was a chimney right here. There's an old barn right here. And for some reason, somebody started digging a basement in it. There was a wall right here, but he wants to take all this out. He's going to reframe all this up and use it as a storage, but to park stuff in and store stuff. But it's kind of hard to do it when there's a giant hole right here. So what I'm going to do is take those screenings and start bringing them in here and tracking this in and see if I can't kind of fill this in and make it where it's a usable space now. It's all the bricks from the chimney, so might as well put them down there and finish covering everything up. See if I can break that piece of pipe up. Well, it's not very often you find yourself inside of a barn, and when it's sitting up there level, I think I only have about 6 inches of clearance, which is going to be a little difficult when it's time to finish grade everything. Well, it didn't look like it, but that took 70 tons to fill that hole in this barn. Of course, when you put almost 8 feet right here, it probably doesn't take very long to add up the tonnage. But I got it filled in a little bit above ground out there so that now rainwater should run around it, and now it's got a nice level area inside here to store whatever he needs to. It's a great big old oak tree there. So I'll be doing a whole lot more work out here later on this year. This is going to be the house lot area for the new house. So it'll sit right here, and I've got to come back and clear a couple acres. All these trees around the barn. A little muddy back here. But we're going to work around some of these bigger trees and leave those. I'll probably take these 3 out right here. The house will sit right here. See if I can get over all this stuff. Then I'm going to come in here and pretty much clear all this out all the way down here to the bottom. And down here in the bottom I'm going to do a pond. There's already a pond down here, but it's not on his property, so we're going to tie into it. He owns the dam of it, but not the rest of the pond. So I'm going to clear all these trees down here out. Probably leave these great big ones. That'll be nice up here. And then any other trees that look nice between the house lot and the pond site down here. Let's go check it out. A bunch of junk out here. We've cleaned up. Working on cleaning up. So the new pond is just going to do about a half-acre pond right here, so that it overlooks, so that the house lot kind of overlooks it. I'm going to come right down here and just do probably a kind of a big teardrop shaped pond in this low area right here. As you can tell, it's pretty wet. It's actually got good flow, but the pond will kind of come right in this area right here. Start it up there and tie the pond dam in over there, and just kind of flood all this area and dig it out and use that dirt for the slope around it. Let's go up here and check this out. Oh yeah, well, at least I know it's got good flow that'll flow into it. See if I can get across without getting wet. So there's the old pond, which was dug many moons ago. Most likely dug with a drag line. And it's common that they take the dirt and they just throw it up here and kind of build an outer berm. Pretty much all they did was just notch the hillside out, and it flows in there and then flows around. But that pine tree does not grow in water, so it's up higher than it probably normally ever stays. And his property line's right here, so he owns half the dam but not the pond. And what we're going to do is clear all this and put the pond in here. So what I'll do is just, property line comes right through here. I'll just dig this pond over into this one, or just start it right here, and that'll drain over, and that'll be what feeds this pond and keeps it full. Since this one right here does not have an actual overflow, it just runs around. So that'll just backflow over into this new pond. It'll start up here and go around up there, and I'll use all the dirt to build the dam back there.